So let's talk about the 2022 edition of the World Circular Economy, which is due early next month. The summit looks to examine how circular economy helps the world reduces materials used to design materials, products, and services to be less resource intensive. This is very important for developing economies, especially in Africa. Joining me now to the chat today is Olu Raheem. He's the Trade Commissioner for Finland in West Africa, and Finland is actually putting some fund together to support Africa in this regard. Great to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you very much
for coming this evening. Give me a broad outline of what a circular economy is.
Yes, of course. Circular economy, just like you said, is of utmost importance in the world we live in nowadays. And there's various explanations and definitions, but I think the simplest way is really the mindset of having, economical functions in a loop, where production, manufacturing, and recycling, everything creates minimal waste as possible. And really moving away from the linear way of doing things, of, making, using, and wasting things, to a more loopy model of circular economy.
Plastic or bottles or paper cups for my coffee.
Electronics.
EV, batteries and all of that.
Yes,
so that's just what circular economy is sort of. How big is that today around the world? Everyone is involved in that.
Well, there's different numbers you can pull from different sources, but with even the very easiest estimates, we're talking about $350 billion worldwide. Accenture has evaluated the market to be about 4.5 trillion. And it's a growing, circular economy in general grows about 10% every year.
So this is where we are. I'm going to talk about our little corner on the planet Earth, which is Africa. So yes. I'm just talking about there was this fund set up by Finland for Africa. How does it work? What is that fund?
Well, Finland really has decided to be the forerunner in circular economy. 2016, Finland was the first country to create a circular economy roadmap. 2019, we put together this fund with the help of Finnish Innovation Fund, Sitra, and with the African Development Bank to have a specific fund for Africa to promote circular economy.
So how does the fund work, or how does it work?
Well, basically the fund has three major, I would say, goals. One of the goals is really to push, the circular economy principles and policies across the continent. Secondly, we're really looking of, knowledge exchange, really the principles of circular economy into businesses and even public institutions. And lastly, the third part is really looking for the trailblazers, the companies in the forefront of circular economy, to really showcase that this works and it's of economic and business value.
Yes, I was about to ask whether the fund is more of government focus or more of private sector and advocacy folks.
It's both. It's both.
Okay. So let's look at it on the side of governments. What is required?
When you look at even Nigeria now, Nigeria has taken already quite a few steps, towards circularity in its economics. We have different agencies, from National Nigerian Climate Innovation Center. We have different agencies coming together, pushing really the circular economy mandate, and Lagos State especially being in the forefront of wanting to be kind of the spearhead of circular economy cities in Africa.
Okay, so but will the governments get funding from Finland for that?
Yes. We're looking to create roadmaps with different governments. We're looking to create roadmaps with different cities, and I think the voice of the public and the private institutions is quite loud that Nigeria needs a very definite roadmap in circular economy and circularity in general.
What about the private sector? Let's drill down into the private sector part of it a little bit for me in terms of how private companies, whether they're listed on an exchange or not, can be circular economy sustainable.
Yes, for example, if you look at Nigeria, we have a coalition of some of the big players that have come together, especially regarding plastic waste. We have the Coca-Colas, we have the Nestle's, we have the Pepsi's, that, in a country like Nigeria, everything is bottled, So really looking at how do we manage this plastic waste and this bottle waste that is around. And even with the roughest estimates, we seem to only recycle about 3% to 5% of plastic bottles or waste at the moment. So there's a lot to do, and it's also of great economic value to the producers themselves. So producer responsibility.
Okay, so but are there incentives here for, is it on the user side or on the side of the companies where Finland Fund on circular economy would want to intervene?
Well, I think it has, really kind of very deep, how would I say, very deep functionality when it comes to the total. Yes, either way you take it from the producer side, what we see now, of course, it enables better waste management, cleanliness of the environment. But of course, the producers, we also see a real economic value saving cost, and something that is in everybody's lips and minds. And nowadays, when the world is going to economic turmoils, we're having economic issues globally, and people are looking for better and more efficient ways of production. So circularity really dwells into that.
So can we mainstream circular economy into the wider, broader economy for countries in Africa in particular as part of our development agenda or goals?
Yes, I think so. I mean, circularity as such is not really a new thing in Africa. We've been doing it for ages, and even if not centuries, but it might be in a crude way, But nowadays, when production methods are more, how would I say, more commercialized, we need to bring that circularity thinking back. How do we really use all the raw materials in the best, and the byproducts and such, in the best manner possible? Because
you look the entire Africa, every country, every point on the continent is a resource.
Yes.
So the entire continent is 100% resource, from the Sahara to the ocean. So outside Nigeria, are there countries that you're looking at in terms of this intervention, engagement, and all of that?
Yes. Of course, personally, my responsibility is West Africa, so I look very deeply into West Africa.
All the way down to Senegal?
Yes, all the way down to Senegal. But really, our focus has been Nigeria and Ghana, and I think the bigger the market, the bigger the advantages. For a country like Nigeria, I think the advantages of circularity in their economy is huge.
Very, very interesting. You think we can, the potential of circular economy is huge. Do you think we can be able to create jobs through circular economy?
Yes, I think that is already happening. Of course, in the informal sector, there's been circularity for a while. Yes. But like I said, companies are really coming in together in putting together standardized methods. Some kind of compensation for engaging people in circularity. So, for example, when you talk about plastic recycling, putting standards in place, so that people and the pickers know what type of plastics to pick and where to return them and what is the cost per ton. And so there's a lot of standardization that needs to be done, and definitely it will create employment opportunities.
If you folks give me an incentive, I'm going to return all the bottles I have, all the plastic bottles I have.
We're working on that.
You guys just buy them off me.
Yes, that's the way it works in Europe. You take it to the shop, you automatically get a compensation for it. So we're looking at something like that in Nigeria in the future.
I could just go to attract Nigerians. Imagine Lagos, for example. For that bottle of soft drink,
there will be no plastic.
Once I return the plastic, you give me some money.
Exactly.
Oh, folks, I'm going to be waiting till you finish yours. You're going to be surprised what's going to happen on weekend parties and what have you. Some folks are going to be waiting around for, as well as just grab the plastic.
We will not see the bottles on the ground or the streets or the lagoon, or we will not see them again. And that's the purpose. And it benefits all.
Do it. Yeah, just for a bottle of a soft drink of 200 naira, for example, and they say, well, boss, if you return it, you're going to get 30 naira. Oh dear.
Yeah. That's something.
I'm gonna think about it. You guys talk to the folks in Finland, and if they put some money on the table for some few American cents, naira, we can just clean it up for everyone and just get them disposed.
Sounds good.
But again, it's good business for the government because it goes down to the environment, the whole climate change. Because that's what was my last question about this way go all the way to the climate change conversation everybody's having in Egypt right now.
Yes, I think with the floods and everything, climate change change is real. There's, of course, a lot of talks about, how much responsibility do Africa need to take. But I don't think, Africans have a choice. It is here. It's on our doorsteps. We need to do something about it. And what's the best way to, attack this problem? I think it's through circular economy.
When the rewards scheme part of it is on, let me be the first to know.
I will personally text you.
Okay, thank you so much for your time. Have a great evening, a wonderful evening. Olu Raheem, the Trade Commissioner for Finland in West Africa, covering Nigeria, Ghana, and the rest of the region.